Candy Cane Lane. This is currently on Amazon Prime Video, and it does have audio description. This stars Eddie Murphy, uh, Tracy Ellis Ross, Jillian Bell. Uh, it's kind of just a really broad ensemble when you really break down into it, but it's really Eddie Murphy and Tracy Ellis Ross with a little dash of Jillian Bell. Um, and just kind of like an ensemble, like Timothy Simons, David Allen Greer, Chris Redd. I'm trying to think of some of the other people that pop up in this. It's got a really nice little sort of ensemble. Trevante Rhodes, just people who just like randomly pop up in this film. So yeah, it's a straight to streaming Christmas film at Amazon, but it actually has the production value of something that could have gone to theaters, which is really important because a lot of Christmas films they don't really give the budget to. This film, it does feel like they actually gave it the budget and it could have gone to theaters. It feels a little bit more like that. Um, and it kind of makes me miss the days when things like this used to go to theaters and we used to actually try to get people to go out to theaters and watch Christmas movies, and now it's like everybody's just content with staying at home to watch them. I feel like if Elf came out nowadays, it would just go straight to streaming, and that kind of thought just kind of breaks my heart to think that a film like that would just kind of wind up as being some random streaming film. Um, this isn't bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. It has the problem of being a Christmas movie in that it's trying way too hard to appeal to everyone. It's cutesy. It's got shtick. It's got a plot that's actually fairly unique to itself, but it's trying like this really just schmaltzy and just it's over the top. Um, it's got an older and wiser Eddie Murphy raising younger kids, which is great for him. I guess he's an actor. He's like 63 years old or something like that. And he's got kids that are none of them have graduated, so uh, he joined fatherhood late in the process. And luckily, Tracy Ellis Ross is not that far off in age. They didn't pair him with somebody who's like, I don't know, 30 years younger than him in order to make this happen and try to make Eddie Murphy look younger. So she's 12 years younger than him, which is still a lot, but it's not like, oh my God. So um, I didn't hate this pairing. And Tracy is great. She's a great comedic actress. She's totally up for this. And the plot revolves around the idea that the movie Deck the Halls, where like they were competing. It was like Matthew Broderick and Danny DeVito, and they were competing to try to have like the best Christmas display. Basically that, but Eddie Murphy's character gets laid off, and he needs the money. And there's this competition. They keep going to like prison cable news, and I was like, what is this joke we're trying to make here? What is happening here? But there was some massive cash prize offer for this town in whichever house decked out the best, basically, whichever house had the best Christmas decorations. And he's already been trying to win, and they've already been having this like little competition in their neighborhood, I guess, with him and against his neighbor. And his neighbor just does those dumb blow up things in the yard, and Eddie Murphy like is like handcrafting and hand carving candy canes and hand painting them. So like all of his decorations are like legit. The other guy just goes out there and he just like blows up snowmen and like, look at my floating. It's like I get it. I get what they're trying to say. You can go out and just buy decorations and put them on the lawn. Meanwhile, Eddie Murphy's over there like spending majority of his time, like whittling away. um, But after his firing, and his wife is trying to get promoted at work, but will it happen? I don't know. You're gonna have to watch the film. Um, he needs the money, so he takes it very seriously. He ends up going into this store where he runs into Julian Bell, who is creepy A little too much. A little too much. If I walked into her store, I'd have been like, what did I just walk into? You're very weird. You're a bit much for me. Um, but he's there. And she's got this receipt for him to sign and to try to help boost his Christmas. And he ends up making a really weird pact that he has to try to break before his town is destroyed. Basically, he unleashes the 12 days of Christmas. So, as you count, and it's actually really important to sing the song in the way that the song is. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave me a partridge in a pear tree. Because reasons that I won't spoil. But it comes back around that if you do it the right way and you don't just think of the list, like at the very end of the song, and you go, okay, so what's 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6? If you don't just do that, then yeah. Anyway, you'll see what the film is trying to do with that and why it matters. It's an interesting way to go, in terms of all of the things that start popping up and flying around, and all the animals and the maids of milking and stuff. So yeah, it is what it is. So it's kind of cutesy. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it either. This isn't a film that I'm gonna like rewatch again. This sort of feels like I just got done watching Family Switch with Jennifer Garner and Ed Helms, and I was like, that film was fine. It did what it is. I don't ever need to see it again, but it contributed. I had a nice time. I'm not gonna say I didn't have a nice time watching Candy Cane. I'm not gonna say I didn't smile a couple of times. It didn't make me laugh a couple of times. I'm not gonna act like a total Grinch and say this film, but it's not gonna turn into a classic for me. As much as I love seeing Eddie Murphy on screen in presence in a film that had so much potential, they overdo it. These people's names are stupid. Like everybody in this, this whole family's name is ridiculous. His name is Chris. His wife's name is Carol. His kids are named like Joy and Holly and Nick, I think. Like their whole family is Christmas themed. And then like everybody they run into, there are all these other elves that all have these names that are all like of the same ilk, and you're like, God, what are these names? But he has like, I can't remember what their last name is, like Carter or something like that. So that it's kind of cringly, so he's like Chris Carter instead of like Chris Kringle. It's close. Like they're trying to do something here with Eddie Murphy's family, and I see what you're trying to do, but it's a bit much to name your entire family like your 24/7 Christmas is a bit much. Yeah, it's just stuff like that, just little things throughout the film that I was like, this is laying it on thick. I don't know why he could just be a random guy who loves Christmas. I don't know why they all have to be named after, you know, Joy Holly. Come on. Anyway, it's just, yeah, just a couple little things. Audio description wise, the magic that happens in this film, which there's magic in all of the 12 days appearing and Christmas trees lighting up, and there's a giant bright light that shoots up into the sky, and we're told that it can even be seen by like an airplane, and the pilots are like being blinded by it. I'm like, I don't know if that's a great idea, but he's got so much light that he's causing airplane pilots to be blinded temporarily. So I don't know if that's a great idea, but whatever. It's a good joke, a good gag, I guess, for the moment. And yeah, it all just kind of builds up to, will he win? Will he win this money? What's the twist? What's the catch? I don't want to spoil any of that for you, but there are twists and catches in this thing. And the movie does not necessarily end the way that you think it will at the beginning of the film, where you think, it's a holiday film, so everything's going to be wrapped up really nicely, or it's going to have a message where, like, we don't need any of this material crap. We just need family. It's going to be one of those two, I think. So, except he does need material stuff because he has no job. So, unless you're going to give him a job, he actually does need this stuff because he was let go. He was fired right before Christmas. Who fires people right before Christmas? Seriously. Anyway, that's it. That's my thoughts. Talented cast, kind of keeps this thing alive. This basically kind of original premise fights a lot of the other things, but there's a lot bogging this film down. I'm gonna go Candy Cane Land. I'm gonna go B-. It's the same grade I gave Family Switch, so I enjoyed it more than I did not. So I'm not gonna thumbs down this movie or give it a rotten, because truth be told, in a thumbs up, thumbs down world, this is a thumbs up for me. Not a huge one, but it is a thumbs up. I enjoyed it more than I did not enjoy it. So that's it. I have a website, macmoviiguy.com. You can follow me on Instagram, Threads, or X at MacMovieGuy. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know what is audio description, where you can watch it. And you can go to the ADNA.org. That's the ADNA.org. It'll let you know who's narrating your favorite films and television series. That's it for me today. I will watch something else and see you guys on the other side.